Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope y'all are doing really well this weekend. It's been a fantastic weekend with a lot of choppy moves. I didn't expect this kind of movement to happen over the weekend, but I'm really glad it did because now we're sitting in some really great positions in the Cryptosomniac Advantage community. Again, all these positions were given to only the Advantage members the past few days, but I let you guys in on our positions 1 or 2 days later. Okay, so you can at least have some opportunities as you're watching from the free side, right? So here's the thing, okay? If you come join Cryptosomniac Advantage program today itself, folks, you will be able to capitalize on this market by the end of this video. And I'm going to show you exactly how the next few days are going to lead to a good amount of volatility where you can make probably some decent gains, whether the market goes up or down. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. You can choose to follow my trades or not. Okay, that's exactly what my community is about. They're structured in a way where they trust me with my trades, and if they want to follow, they can. And sometimes they go off and do their own trades and they make some decent money, right? So this is a community about sharing information, sharing knowledge, and that's what is so great about us. Okay, there's people from all walks of life, traders from different levels of experience. I've obviously been trading for over a decade now, so I'm actually now at the point where I really want to sort of share my knowledge, share my information with people, and show you what we do best. Okay. I've also got a ton of room to grow, so I'm always learning too. Whenever I learn something new, I put it into the education section. I think people should never stop learning. Okay. I think you should always be growing. I think you should always surround yourself with people who know more than you. And I try to do the same too. I have my own mentors. I learn from people who know more than me, who have more experience than me, right? One of the people that we had brought on was Austin, who was a former hedge fund manager, and we had an interview with him. Okay, I learned a ton from him. Okay, just like you can too. And so we like to share these resources with you, with the Advantage members. All right. So come join Cryptosomniac Advantage program, folks, or buy the analysis course, technical analysis course, and you can get 7 free days in all these locked channels that you see. You can ask questions, look at the trades we're taking, understand how we trade the technicals, how we draw fibs, how we draw trend lines and extensions, and which indicators we use and overlays we use, how we gauge price action and market psychology and sentiment. Okay, so we can show you all of that, and you can learn that in the technical analysis course. So now that you've sort of seen the past few days me reiterating exactly what has been happening in the market, okay, I think you should now know that we know what we're doing. Okay, 2 days ago, all right, I showed you guys this video, and you can again go back and watch my videos from 2 or 3 days ago. And I said that this spike up here was a shortable spike. Okay, and we actually did short this spike right up here. Okay, and I'm still in that position on my spike. Okay, I had a pretty sizable position, so I cut it down for some profit over here. I think 2 days ago, and then yesterday I cut it over somewhere over here. Okay, so again, 2 different areas that I took profit. It wasn't the most optimal profit because, again, I could have wrote it from this all the way down here, right? But did I know that exactly was going to happen? Not really, right? I just knew that this purple block right here that you're seeing is a support that's weakening over and over again. But at any point, I also knew that as of late, BTC has been very susceptible to big, short squeezes. And I didn't really want to be caught in that, okay? No one ever lost money by taking profit. It's a old adage that's been sort of repeated in the trading circles for decades, right? Because the point is that you need to figure out what the technicals are and where they're telling you where you should be taking profit based on those technicals. And my technicals already told me that this area you could take profit anywhere in this area, okay? And that's what I did. Now this drop would have been great for me to take profit on, but hey, I still have 1/3 of my position remaining. So even if this thing spikes up all the way to 8,200 or 8,250, I think my average was, let's see, my average is like 82.56 or something. Let's see. Yeah, 82.56 is my entry on my short position. Okay, and I took profit 2 days ago, as you can see, Thursdays. So today is Sunday, actually 3 days ago. And then I took some more profit yesterday, again, right here, as you can see. All right, so I got exit 81.64. So again, not the most optimal place because I took it right here. But, again, it's all about looking at the charts and being able to figure out how can I minimize my risk and be able to make consistent profit. So I'll tell you exactly why I decided to take profit over here and I missed out on this move. And the reason I want to show you that is so you can learn when not to take excessive risk or more than necessary risk on your positions, okay? So when I saw the market sort of moving like this, right, I saw it ranging. I knew for the most part that this purple block was going to break ultimately. I just didn't know if it was going to break just like this, like it did right now, or if it was going to go up further, hit this red block again, all the way up here, and then crash down. Because when prices were over here, when I was looking at prices, right, they looked like they were flagging, meaning a bull flag was occurring right at the edge of this descending parallel channel. Okay, so more often than not, when prices like that flag near the parallel channel, okay, you're going to have more downside, all right? Or I'm sorry, you're going to have more upside because it's a bull flag, right? Bull flags are typically like this, and they pull back like that, and then they typically break up. I didn't really want to deal with that because I already had a pretty decent position. So I figured, you know what, let me just get out of profit. And if it runs up, I'll short it again. And if it runs down, I still have another 1/3 of my position remaining, right? So sometimes it's just best to sort of not have a headache of having the position run up and then you just got stopped out or you're now in the red versus taking profit and then letting the rest of your position run. Okay, so now even the remaining 1/3 of my position is in very healthy profit because I got on an average of 82.56, so all the way up here to down here. Okay, and I'm on a 10x or 15x short, so that's a 38% gain, right? So again, it looks fantastic for me right now. I don't have anything to worry about because now I have a $300 cushion from this top to this bottom, right? Now you're probably thinking, okay, so what do you do in this situation? Well, you've already pretty much missed the 2 times that I told you that you had shorting opportunities. First up here, second up here, and then third, I think I even made a video yesterday where I stated that more than likely, once this movement happens, you'll probably see another run up back up to this red block or at least the 618 fib, which is, as you can see, price ran up to the 618 fib. So if you didn't listen, again, now you miss your opportunity because now price is kind of sitting at a critical area where it may potentially bounce up again just a little bit, or it may just come crashing down. So in terms of risk reward, this is really a gamble to either short or long here, right? But now let's look at the 4-hour time frame and see what it's telling us, okay? So based on the 4-hour time frame, all right, what we're really seeing is price has, from this bottom to this top, price has now come back to the 70.5 retracement. Actually, it's even tapped the 78.6 retracement, okay? So not really a healthy sign, right? But remember what I said yesterday, Bitcoin likes to tap the 70.5, the 78.6 retracements because it just loves digging in deeper for retracements and then pushing back up. Now, personally, I don't really think it's going to happen even if there is a push up. There might be maybe a quick, candle squeeze like $100 or so, $150. So maybe up here at the most, like 81.17, as you can see, and then push back down. But for the most part, I'm not really concerned about Bitcoin, aggressively sort of just running up. Okay. Now, if it does run up, here's what could happen. Okay, this gap between this area, okay, probably this area and this block right here is largely unfilled, right? So there's a lot of shorts who probably have their stops remaining in this area. That means there's a lot of liquidity in this area. And remember, like I've said, when you're in a market where there's not a lot of interest to buy the underlying asset, which is Bitcoin right now, which is kind of what's happening, okay? The game of derivatives, which is the futures, the options markets, the perpetual futures, like the longs and the shorts that we're taking, are far more susceptible to aggressively manipulate price. What do I mean by that? Okay, so when you see really fast, drastic movements like this in the market, like when you see a big spike up like right there, or you see, this movement right here, stopping out this particular area, okay, you can see that over here, if you were to take that candle right there, okay, there's a reason why these wicks poke up all the way past here. That's because when prices went from this area down here, like when they went like this, right, when they rolled over like that, a lot of people shorted here. Or even if people shorted here, they probably had their stops up here in this area. So then you kind of just look at it from the perspective of a bot or a professional, and you say, okay, if I was a person shorting, where would most likely my stop be? It'd probably be somewhere above this wick, right? Or if you were shorting at 25x or 50x, based on the math, you could probably make the argument that most of the stops are residing between this area right here, which is 84.75, all the way probably up to about $87.50, $8,800. So you can make the argument that there's a ton of liquidity just sitting up here. Okay, so with that argument, we can say that, okay, if price does run up, the most amount of pain that it could cause and inflict is all the way up here, right, in this particular region right there. And so that is where you need to be looking at if there is a possible run up. But again, very low likelihood of that happening, because that would take an aggressive amount of push from the bulls and some really sharp short squeezing, because you'd basically have to drive up price from current point. You'd have to drive up price almost $800. Okay, that's not that easy to do when you've had 5 days of deep retracements. Okay, the bears are not going to just give up their position and roll over so easily when they've been pushing this market down. Every spike up has been shorted or sold, right? This spike up, shorted and sold. This spike up, shorted and sold. This one sold. This one sold, right? So the bears are just really not allowing any real movement to come to fruition. So that tells me that when we start looking on the daily chart, we are now looking at something like this, okay? So remember, a few days ago, again, in my videos, I stated that the areas to now watch are this, okay? So I think 2 days ago when I drew this chart, we were on this candle right here, and we were just starting this one. I stated that if we close below this white line, which is about 82.18, right, that's not going to be a good sign. And if we close below that, probably we're going to close below this line where all these candles opened and closed, which is about 8,060. You can see currently price is at 79.41. But remember, this candle right here, today's daily, has another 11 hours left in it. Okay, so in the next 11 hours, anything could happen. This candle could close above. It could be, I don't know, but crazy hammer-like candle and shoot back up here. More than likely, again, because trading is about possibilities and probabilities, more than likely price is just going to keep on slowly bleeding down. Okay, so I don't personally think that we're going to spike back all the way up here. I think we're just going to have a slow bleed down. And I think this candle may probably close somewhere around 8,000, which is just $50 short of that. And so then you get another shorting opportunity on the daily time frame confirmation. Okay, so that would be the ideal place to short once the daily closes. All right, you don't really want to short here because you're kind of just stuck in the middle. You're still stuck in this parallel channel. Yes, it could go down, but you're also kind of hitting that 78.6 fib. You're really close to the bottom of the channel. Prices could really go like this, right? What I could see is going like this, pushing back down just a little bit, maybe $50 lower than this low that we had. So this low was about 78 90. So we could go like this and then push back up. This would then trap a lot of late shorts down here, like this, and then price would push back up all the way to 8,100. I'm just laying out the possibilities for you guys so you know exactly, what to look out for, okay? The Stochn RSI has bottomed, right? So that means that price actually does have a bit more room to go to the upside in terms of momentum, okay? But you can clearly see that this purple box is just overhanging, on the price. So that means even if the price moves up, it doesn't really have that big of a ceiling to move up. It'll probably get stopped somewhere around, 8,050, maybe 8,125 max, okay? On the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart again, Stochn heavily bottomed on the Stochn RSI. The 4-hour RSI over here breaking every single trend line that I had drawn, which again I had stated that once the first one typically breaks like this, it's only a matter of time till the second and third one break. Because oftentimes if you see a really aggressive trend line like this first one, you want to take this one and ride it all the way into the overbought, like this thing did right back here. You just want to go straight up, okay? Because if you have a trend line like this and then the momentum is lost and then you go like this, oftentimes what happens is you kind of slowly start losing momentum and then you start going down, okay? So that's our short trade, folks. That's what I want to show you guys. Another thing that I actually want to show you guys is I had announced another trade that I was taking, which was Link USD. Okay, Link USD or USDT, as you can see right here. Okay, this was a fantastic trade that I'm really glad I got into. My entry was about 196, and let's see where exactly Link is. Okay. Link is currently around 212 and a half. Okay, so really violent breakout that we had out of this flag. I was really looking at, I don't know where my chart is. Oh, actually, you know what? I think it's this thing. There it is. Okay, so I was looking at this pennant right here that was consolidating right under this red block of resistance. Okay, so this red block of resistance, I knew for the most part is going to be tough to get in through for the first time we hit it, but the second time I knew that the volume was starting to pick up. We were flagging right under resistance. Remember, consolidation under resistance oftentimes leads to a breakout. But, again, we were still waiting for confirmation above 202 to have a true breakout. So I took a small, position at about 195 or 196. And now I'm up, let's see, got in right there. So now I'm up a good 8.5%. All right. So easy peasy, guys. In our community, we're not taking aggressive risks. Just looking at the technicals, it's really that simple. After a while, once you do this, it kind of just becomes like a game. It's like, where are the patterns? What kind of math lines up? It really does sometimes come down to math, because it's sometimes about, the odds and the statistics, and also the favorability of movement from one side to the other. Risk reward, we call it, right? So when your risk reward ratio is good, there's a better chance that you can take the trade, and you oftentimes could win out on the trade. And if you lose, you don't even lose that much money, right? So it's all about being able to take a chance and sort of realizing that trading becomes sort of an art, a skill set that you like to craft and you like to really just sharpen. Okay, and that's something that we've done in our Cryptosomniac Advantage community. Okay, so I hope you guys come join. As you've seen the past few days, you've seen me do these videos for almost 2.5 years now, folks. You know what this community is all about. You know exactly what we do. We make consistent gains, and beyond that, we teach you exactly what we're doing. I provide this free content, quite often, and in our community, this is not just, I put out a trade, then I'm gone for like 2 days. Okay, I'm very engaged with my community. I know a lot of people by their first name. They know me by my first name, right? So, we're a very tight-knit community that understands, the attention, the information, the patience, the support that markets require. And that's what we give. We're just hardworking people who make, good money. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you come join. Again, cryptosomniac.com. Hit the products page right there, and then you will see the technical analysis course or the Advantage membership. All right, come make some gains. Cheers.